Hey everybody, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program RP-0. Today we're going to be addressing a serious shortfall of our Omega1A Launcher, capped off with this LLOTB. It's the Low Lunar Orbit Test Bed. That should have been V, but I guess the keys are next to each other. Leave me alone. So, I'm going to try, well, first we're going to move that and set that aside. But we're going to be making some changes here to our second stage, namely by switching out our single E1 for a, hopefully, what will be a better HydroLox engine, namely this LR87LH2. The thrust of it is a little less than half of the E1. That's the LR89. Where's the E1? Up here somewhere, right? Yeah. The E1 gives us 1,884 kilonewtons of thrust. This gives us barely 700, 660 something. So we could probably do 3 of these and see similar thrust numbers. Those 4, okay. But man, I forgot to even check the delta V on that first. Dang it. We don't need to pressurize. Remove all tanks. Switch to liquid hydrogen. And we'll do the same down here. There's certainly going to be some resizing of this stage, undoubtedly. That's stage 8-ish. Okay, well, it's saying at stage 7 we're getting between 1,500 and 1,700 meters per second and 1 minute and 13 second burn time. These have a rated burn time of 5 minutes. Holy crap. Well, we may be redesigning our lower stage also, because we can... Oop, not what I meant to do. Bottom. We can go all the way out to 7 meters now. And that still only takes us up to 1 minute and 58 seconds. Does that look obscene? A little bit, whatever. Oh. Wrong one. Alright. We're up to 2 minutes 14. We gotta get that up to 5 minutes. Oh man, we're gonna run into height restrictions here unless we size up the top of this tank. Four minutes 55. 5 minutes 14. That's 4,300 meters per second delta V. That's got to be a huge upgrade, although our thrust to weight ratio drops down to 0.78. We're going to have to run with it, really. I don't see much of a choice. Size that up to 6 meters, make this look a little less weird. Mission failed. Still looks really weird. Boom, boom. Okay. And so, let's make sure we only have one of these because it's about to go crazy. Oh, look at that. First try. Booyah. Alright, and height. Let's fix that first. There we go. And we'll take the base out to 7 and the top height up to 7. And did I delete the... Nope, there it is. This really isn't even going to be an Omega launcher anymore, is it? Oh yeah, wow, that's way too tall. Come on, KSP, get with it. Oh, it's starting to be all buggy and such. Alright. That looks much better. Wrap those around, make sure they're in the right place. Boom, boom, boom. Yep. Okay. Now, let's see exactly how apeshit this whole thing goes when I size up this main tank. Ultimately, that did not go very badly at all. Although, I know our burn time now is all screwed up. And our weight is definitely going to be crazy. Maybe we can actually just lose all of these lateral... No, we're going to need them. I've tried this before. We're probably going to end up adding engines to make this rocket even more ridiculously expensive. Alright. What? Yeah. Not all the tanks are full. I should figure that part out first. What tanks did I drain? Yeah, we're already way over our tonnage. Here we go. Yeah, we still have a positive thrust. Well, we're one, like... And now we're over our avionics limit also. That's new and interesting. So that's all of those filled. Thrust to weight ratio currently sitting at 0.99. 3 minutes 34 seconds burn time. These guys are rated for 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Do we have an upgrade? No. No, we do not. Alright, well. Shedding some fuel shouldn't be a problem. Let's make it look right first. No. It's a little better. Next set is going to be what's really interesting. Is there offset? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to restart KSP soon. I can get rid of that for the time being. Come on. Okay, that looks about right. Now, do we want to add more engines and up our cost, or do we want to shave fuel? I think we need to shave fuel. Alright, so let's bring Delta V back up here. We have like what? We have to get it down to 2 minutes and 45 seconds. So we'll just start taking utilization down on some of these caps. It's 53. That's not bad. Forgot to fuel these little guys. fuel. That saves us next to nothing, but, you know, nickels and dimes, nickels and dimes. Two minutes 51. I wonder if we can run them a couple of seconds over, because messing with the utilization... Oh, it's set to 100? That's not fair. Yeah, I guess I did that because I was dealing with all kinds of other dumb things. Alright. Now, I think, in fairness, we can set the utilization of those up to... Well, we probably won't even need to go to 40. 2 minutes 47. We'll overrun them just a bit. That gives us a lift-off threat-to-weight ratio of 1.21. That's acceptable. And look at our total delta V now. 1,400 meters per second. That should be well more than enough to do a lunar flyby. Hopefully. So maybe that liquid hydrogen upper stage is exactly what we needed. And we have room to add at least 4 more engines to this. Should we need to get some more oomph off the ground, maybe with a heavier payload? Not bad. Not bad at all. 160 days to throw one of these together. That's interesting. 14 minutes of burn time on that service engine. That's ridiculous. But the capsule won't survive. We need a heat shield upgrade. Alright, first things first, let's get it down to a launch-ready weight. I think, yeah, that's the only thing that we are missing out on currently is our launch weight. So we'll just take a bunch of fuel out of our core there. We're still 100 tons over. There we go. Make sure our pumps are good still. Yes, they are. Fantastic. Alright, it's not really fair to still call this the Omega1A. Omega2 LHB. Save. Now while I'm here, I do want to just double check heat shields. Not rated for lunar returns. Not rated for lunar returns. Huh. I wish I had read that before. Lunar rated heat shield. We have one of these in a 2.5 meter, 3 meter, 10 meter, 1 meter, and 2 meter. 33 grand to unlock that. This is interesting. Okay, we need to... Why can't I click on this now? Great. Okay, well, it seems that Kerbal Space Program... Oh, I can. I'm in the wrong mode. Womp womp womp. Alright, let's bring this to a workable height. So, it looks like our closest approximation is... We got 3 meter, 1 meter, 2 meter, 3 meter. So we don't have a 2.5 meter like we have on this one. So we may be going down to a 1 meter. So, set that aside, set that aside. Done with that thing. So I guess let's take that bottom end to 2 meters. Doesn't really screw much else up. Here's our 2 meter heat shield. 33 grand to unlock. it on. Doesn't look all that great. Let's see, we still have entirely too much hydrazine. What does our life support stuff look like now that we've resized that? 36, 73, and 140. Not bad. We are also going to add another solar panel. We're going to go up to 3. And hope that that's enough to supplement our power draw. Alright, we'll throw that back on. Ooh, we get a shroud now. That's neat. Crossfeed's still enabled. Then the Agena core. Service module, which we have to resize the top down to 2 meters solid. God, that looks really dumb. Cannot wait until we get better pod. How does that affect our delta V for that stage? 4486. Not bad. Okay. Thank you. This is all KSP, just starting to run like crap. No? No, that's not what I did at all, KSP. Thank you. There we go. Alright, so a quick look over at our staging. Pull the rocket above ground. Above ground, barely, good. Ignition, clamps, stage sep, ullage, engines, stage sep, engines, stage sep, engine, service module ditch. Alright, this is the only thing that we need to move. Launch escape system can probably go after stage 1 before stage 2 based on telemetry of our last liftoff. Final ditch, core stuff. Alright, now then, action groups. Boot. See, why didn't those toggle? Toggle antenna. Should have worked. Solars, toggle panels, that should have worked. Alright, first stage. Yeah, it's, all of them are on there. Take all of them off. Just these 4. Shut down. Yeah. Shut down engine. Build. Make sure these are the ones that have the gimbal is free. Good, good. So we'll probably be running 5 of those engines well past their burn time. We may try 1 or 2 of these without shutting down the engines. What? It'll only take 167 days to throw one of these together. Save. We'll go ahead and add one to the build list and take one for a test ride. I added it to the build list. The cost came out fairly reasonable, only 52 grand. These liquid hydrogen engines are fucking ridiculously expensive. Prohibitively so. Okay. Again, this is a simulation. For some reason we didn't get a Kerbal placed in our command pod. That's new and interesting. But we're just here to make sure it flies. So, ignition sequence start. I forgot to let the rocket fucking fuel. So, since it's a simulation, I don't feel bad in doing this. Alright, seriously this time. let the rocket fuel. Take that, pad weight limits. Throttle up, stability control, ignition. Ignition is good. And we are away. Sort of. Slow and easy going, that's for sure. But it doesn't look half bad, really. Guess we probably could try to stack all these engines in, or maybe move these tanks in a little bit. I'm not going to concern myself with that. We've got a loss of thrust on one of our engines. Failure on another one. Failure on another one. Oh, and an explosion. That's awesome. We are now fighting to keep this thing in control. Another failure. Oh no! This is going horribly awry. We're down to 2 engines. That last one's going to fail. Just stage it. Wow. Okay. We need to make some adjustments to the burn time on those engines, certainly. There's absolutely no way this should have been salvageable, except that we're pretty much out of the atmosphere when it happened. So we need to either add more engines or less fuel. I think that means that we're going to be going a lot slower when this liquid hydrogen stage finally kicks in. And these engines are completely unresearched. Tightly knotted. But we do have some pretty good oomph right now. So I guess all we can do is really see how it flies. Alright, do our action groups work? Boot. Was not well processed. So activate. Activate. Alright. Solars. That worked. And time warp, because who wants to sit here and watch a 5-minute burn? That stage worked out pretty well. But how much of this stage will be left when we actually get to orbit, I guess, is the question. My thinking is none. Yeah. Well, we might have a little bit, but it's cutting it awful close. It might make this thing serviceable for a lunar flyby, but not a lunar orbital insertion. That's a little disappointing, really, considering the sheer size of this rocket. Engine failure. Shit! This is a simulation. This shit isn't supposed to happen. Jeez. Well, that... How am I supposed to know if everything's gonna work when you throw ridiculous crap like this at me? And now we're going to be pushing past the rated burn time on these other two, so I fully expect both of them to fail. Oh, yep. Crap. Yeah, man, no more hydrazine. Well, that was certainly interesting, although I think had none of those engines failed, we would have just barely pressed into orbit, leaving us with 4,500 meters per second of delta V in our service module. 3,200 of that would get us to the moon. So yeah, we could totally use this for a lunar flyby. I think we will be using it to fulfill that contract. Unfortunately, I don't think we have enough time to actually build one of them to test the heat shield from high return. We're just going to have to take VAB's word for it. So that's going to do it for us today, guys. Thanks for hanging out. I do appreciate it, and I will see all of you tomorrow. Until then, see you later.